thank you so much on behalf of Rivers State House of Assembly. And I welcome you because we all know that good governance starts with transparent and open budgeting preparation. And this is exactly what your government has been doing over the years. Budget is a critical fiscal regime for an administration. Indeed, it is the managerial process of planning and preparation, as well as control and the related procedures. Budgeting is the highest level of accounting in terms of future, which indicates a definite course of action and not merely reporting. Today, you are here to present the budget estimates. On behalf of principal officers and members of Rivers State House of Assembly, all sense of dedication, humility, and the belief that we are partners in progress, I hereby invite you to present your budget speech. Thank you.
Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, it is a great pleasure to be here again to present the 2023 budget for this adult chamber. Incidentally, this is the last budget presentation I will be making before this House of Assembly as the Governor of Rivers State. Let me first acknowledge the Almighty God for preserving our lives and seeing us through the 2022 fiscal year. I also want to recognize the continued cooperation and support from Mr. Speaker and the members of the House, and thank you again for your services to the people of Rivers State, especially in the most critical times. 7.5 years ago, we articulated the New Rivers Vision Action Plan to drive our state's development. We relished the opportunity to lead the state at this time of its history and share the prospects of our government with optimism. We came into office at a time of great national economic difficulty, so much so that our predecessors even wondered where we would find the funds to pay the salaries of civil servants and execute development projects. After suffering 2 recessions, made worse by low oil proceeds and a global coronavirus pandemic, the nation's economy had remained in crisis. As dependent entities, virtually all the states suffered greatly from the country's poor economic returns, so much so that most were in arrears of salaries and had to depend on bailout funds from the federal government to survive. The dire national economic headwinds also impacted Rivers State. But we faced the challenges with our thinking caps and found creative ways to bolster the state's revenues to fund our development agenda. In the face of poor national economic conditions, we are determined to deliver on our mandate and allow our results to define our legacy. We remain focused and worked hard to deliver on all our commitments to the state with the resources we could muster. We all know the state of the state in 2015, when we first came, and the difference we made between then and now. The truth is that we have delivered our priorities and are happy that we have taken our state to development heights no one ever imagined. But even as we advance to the end of our tenure, we promise to continue to deliver projects until our last day in the office. This is why we have come to seek the House's approval for our last budget estimates. The review of 2022 budget performance. Mr. Speaker, in 2022, the approved total budget of the state was 420 billion, 485 million, 53,736 naira only. Out of this sum, the recurrent expenditure was 142 billion, 776 billion, 489,415 naira, while capital expenditure was 305 billion, 894 million, 284,061 naira. By the end of October 2022, total revenue receipts stood at 321 billion, 250 million, 771,289 naira 91 kobo, only about 70% performance. The total receipt from entirely generated revenue IGR was 112 billion 99 million. This represents 25% performance above the figure of 2021 for the same period, but over 50% less than the projected sum for 2022. The shortfall in IGR is attributed to our inability to collect the projected proceeds from value-added tax following the stay of execution ordered by the Court of Appeal, which were appealed to the Supreme Court. Furthermore, augmentation for the federal government accounts for the nominal increase recorded in the allocations for the Federation Account Allocation Committee FAC. In other words, the 2022 budget performance did not also meet projected receipts from FAC. Nevertheless, the aggregate performance of the budget on the revenue side stood at over 90% at the end of October 2022. 2022 budget implementation. Mr. Speaker, the 2022 budget is still being implemented and the fiscal year ends on 31st December 2022. The revenues realized were deployed to finance the projected capital and the current expenditures, including general administration, salaries, pension, and gratuities, and overheads for ministries, departments, and agencies of the government on the expenditure side. As of today, the government has implemented 100% of its recurrent expenditures as we're up to date in paying salaries, pensions, and overheads to MDs. We have also spent over 6 billion to gradually clear the arrears of gratuities accumulated over the years. The 2022 capital expenditure also posted impressive performance relative to the fiscal year 2021. We spent the capital receipts to fund infrastructural projects, including roads, bridges, and flyovers, and investment in human capital development, including education, healthcare, and citizens' security. We also embarked on new projects in agriculture, the judiciary, rural development, constituency projects, special projects, and empowerment. We flagged off a Limbu Rumokoshi flyover project and commissioned the following other projects in February 2022. Orabali flyover, Mboshimini Mpo Road, Ahoda Epena Road, Ahoda Ihubogo Odureke Road, Orobum Crescent, 12 gunboats at NNSS Pafandar Mormon, Eastern Bypass Dual Carriage, Community Secondary School Omawo. We commissioned another set of projects in August 2022, including Orochel, Woruko Flyover Project, Obunabali Eastern Bypass Dualized, 5,000 capacity NYS Auditorium, House of Assembly Quarters, Government VIP Lounge at the Port Harcourt International Airport, remodeled water lines building, land reclamation, shore protection, road network, drains, power station, and water reticulation at Obunabali Sandfield area. Obama Secondary School, Harriston, Government Secondary School, Tombia, Mbata House, Old Bank Building, Ahoda Campus of River State University, Eche Campus of River State University, and Emoha Campus of River State University. Still, we also flagged off the following projects in August 2022. Construction of flyover 11 at Ikore Road, Mokuta and Rumola Junctions. Construction of flyover number 12 at Umboba, Uzoba and other George Road Junction. Construction of Omawa internal roads. Construction of Igruta internal roads. Construction of Eneka internal roads phase 1. Presently, we are commissioning new sets of completed projects, including Dr. Peter Odley Cancer and Cardiovascular Diseases Diagnostic and Treatment Center, Dr. Dabogam Douglas Campus of the Ghana Law School, Port Harcourt, Mbutawa Internal Road, Mbodoroko Flyover, Urapicon Flyover, Urbako Rumapo, Izobodo Igruta Lake Road, Urbakorosa Libodo Community Newly Art Roads, Mbosumi Community Ring Road, Ababu, Itu Umbodoga Road, Ababu, Ebede Lobo Lake Road, Rumbodogo 1 and Rumbodogo 2 Link Road Dress, Justice Mary Ogley Judicial Institute, House Officer Junior Doctor's Quarters, Federal Judicial Commission as an office, Police Intelligence Center, Basic Clinical Sciences Faculty Building, Renal and Dialysis Center at River State University Teaching Hospital, Clinical Sciences Faculty Building. We have also concluded arrangements to flag off the construction of some new roads and other projects to close the infrastructure delivery festivals for the year 2023. They are Ababu Bridgehead, Udido Link Road, Eneka Randabadi Iboeche Road, Mbodehead Link Road with sports, Elele Internal Roads, Elekaya Internal Roads, Dereko B Link Road, Alode One Road, Ndorama Aboncha Ogali Ebubu East West Road, Oboyi Ozochi Road, Rumibo Internal Roads, Eneka Internal Roads Phase 2, Alode Internal Roads, Odibudi Road, Oboyi Obodo Road, Abua Iyak Ibon, Elok Emon, so Ebonam Access Road, Ekago, Oboloma, Adada Link Road, St. Philin and Reclamation at Ogu. Funding of ongoing road and other projects. Funds were also released for the 2022 budget to fund the following ongoing projects. Bori, Kono, Sabinwa Bori, Kono, Dua Carriage Road, Urumuji, Eba, Obele, Isoko Road, Ndama, Okaki Road, Oyibo, Obete Road, East West, Awoda, Amok, Dua Carriage, Ebema, Amok Road, Alibu, Kregene, Odoboburu Road, Okoboko, Okehi, Opopo Road, Ogu, Eboro, Bogo, Wakaman Link Road, Transcalabari Road, Phase 1, Chogocho, Ibodo Road, Azikiwe, Ilabuchi Carriageway, and Love, South Filling of Abonama, Okrika, and Kola communities, and the new Magistrates Court Complex. Basic education projects. As usual, the State's Universal Basic Education Board delivered the renovation and furnishing of several primary and junior secondary schools across the state for the fiscal year 2022. Secondary school development projects. Funds were released for the completion of the following secondary schools before the end of this year. Community Secondary School, Kukubo, Calabari National College, Buguman, Bonny National Grammar School, Bonny, Government Secondary School, Abua, Government Comprehensive Secondary School, Borokiri, and Nitonia High School, Port Harcourt, Marywood Girls High School, Buguman. Tertiary education. We completed the 3 new campuses of River State University and released funds for the university to employ both academic and non-academic staff. We provided funds for the renovation of the Ndele campus of the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education and released funds for the employment of academic and non-academic staff. We have approved and set aside funds for Captain Elechi Amadi Polytechnic to employ new academic and non-academic staff. We also built the basic clinical sciences and clinical sciences faculty buildings of the River State University College of Medical Sciences. We released funds to complete River State University nursing departmental buildings. We also released funds to complete the 10,000 seating capacity auditorium at the University of Nigeria. Health projects. The delivery of healthcare infrastructure also received significant attention in 2022. In addition to fully upgrading the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital, we have also delivered the Dr. Peter Ordinary Cancer and Cardiovascular Diseases Diagnostic and Treatment Center and the Renal Dialysis Center at Rivers State University. We have also released funds for contractors to complete the reconstruction of the Professor Kesley Harrison Specialist Hospital and the Dental and Maxillofacial Hospital in Port Harcourt, and also that of ENT, ear, nose, and throat. We have terminated the contracts for the 5 zonal referral hospitals under construction at Ahoda, Bori, Degema, Okehi, and Omo for undue delay. These hospitals will soon be re-awarded to serious contractors to deliver to the state before we vacate office in 2023. Judiciary projects. We completed the Honorable Justice Mary Odley Judicial Institute and the Federal Judicial Service Commission South-South Zonal Office. We also released funds to complete the new Magistrates Complex, Port Harcourt. Legal education. We started and completed the Dr. Nabo Graham Douglas campus of Nigerian Law School, Port Harcourt, which is adjudged as the best campus of the Nigerian Law School today in Nigeria. And we have released 90% funds to complete the twin hostels of 950 bed space and the 1,500 seating capacity auditorium at the Negua campus of Nigerian Law School. Other projects. We also completed the 1,500 seating capacity auditorium of the NYS Orientation Camp, Norway. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, we are happy with the performance of the 2022 budget and the numerous projects it delivered in the different sectors. The transformation we have witnessed in the last 12 months has provided an impetus for greater optimism about the state's future. We are therefore going to the 2023 fiscal year on the back of the success of the 2022 budget. The economic outlook for Rivers State for 2023. The International Monetary Fund and the World Bank predicted that Nigeria's economic growth will be about 3% in 2023. President Muhammadu Buhari affirmed this prediction during his 2023 national budget presentation with a crude oil price benchmark of $70 per barrel. With dwindling national revenues occasioned by low oil production rates, galloping inflation, foreign exchange crisis, and burgeoning debt profile due to unsustainable deficit financing, most experts believe that Nigeria will experience a troubling economic outlook in 2023. There's no way Rivers State will not be negatively impacted if this becomes a reality, since receipts for the FAC still forms over 70% of the state's revenue profile. However, our strength as a leading oil producing state have been significant. We have always leveraged derivation funds to stabilize the economy and finance recurrent and capital expenditures. We therefore hope that nothing much will change from this national economic outlook to drastically affect our capacity to keep our heads above troubling waters throughout the 2023 fiscal year. Above all, we have always applied appropriate fiscal measures to prevent the headwinds from offsetting our growth and revenue projections. We are therefore confident to make the projection that our domestic economy will grow by 5% in 2023, provided there's sustainable price stability in the oil and forex markets and inflation is reduced to a single digit. The focus of the fiscal year 2023 budget. The fiscal year 2023 budget is targeted at delivering economic growth, additional infrastructure, and prosperity for citizens. While no new projects may be awarded, except where such is considered very significant, we shall galvanize efforts and resources to complete all ongoing projects so that the new government can start on a clean slate unencumbered. We will make adequate provision on all aspects of our priorities, including law, order, security and justice, sustainable fiscal infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and jetties, and human capital development, including education, healthcare, skill acquisition, business development, job creation, women and youth empowerment, agriculture, and poverty reduction. Accordingly, the central theme for this fiscal year budget 2023 is the budget of consolidation and continuity. This theme underpins our determination to expand what has been achieved and continue doing what we believe is best for driving sustainable economic growth, quality education, affordable healthcare, quality infrastructure, and prosperity for our people. Fiscal measures. In 2021 and 2022, we introduced several fiscal measures, including a moratorium on external borrowing to achieve economic growth, fiscal discipline, and financial consolidation. These measures have significantly blocked revenue leakages, improved our capacity for internal revenue generation, and prevented unsustainable deficit financing. We have therefore resolved to continue with the existing fiscal measures for the year 2023. This means that there will be no increase in tax rates. No new taxes will also be introduced. However, we will continue to intensify our drive to significantly improve IGL by expanding opportunities for more investment, industrialization, and efficient tax collection. While we are yet to achieve the projected milestone, we will not relent in our determination to reduce the state's dependency on statutory federal allocation to finance its budget and development. We call on our sister states to join us in this struggle to secure the right to impose and collect VAT at the subnational level. Also, a new revenue sharing formula that gives more significant revenues to the states and local government is long overdue. The key assumptions of the 2023 budget. The 2023 budget is constructed within the framework of the State's Medium-Term Expenditure Framework, the State Economic Strategy Paper, the National Economic Outlook, and the State's Economic Growth Projections. It anchors on the following key assumptions. Crude oil price benchmark of $70 per barrel. National crude oil production estimate of 1.5 million barrels per day. Currency exchange rate of 435.57 to the dollar. National gross domestic product growth rate of between 3%. Inflation rate of 13.1%. And state economic growth projection of between 4.5 and 5%. Funding the 2023 budget. The budget will be funded from the following customary sources. 1. FAC receipts. 2. 13% oil mineral derivation fund. 3. Internally generated revenue. 4. Value added tax, assuming Supreme Court does justice to the case. 5. Federal government bridging facility and reforms. 6. Commercial bank loans. 7. Sale of state assets. 8. Grants from international development agencies and any other sources we can lay hand on. Total budget estimates for the fiscal year 2023. Mr. Speaker, our honorable members will propose a budget of 550,666,987,238 naira for the fiscal year 2023. 2023 recurrent expenditure estimate. We propose a recurrent expenditure of 175,249,602,497 naira only, representing about 31% of the total budget for the 2023 fiscal year. The sectoral distribution of the recurrent budget is as follows. Salaries, 460,278,307 naira. Salary for ministries, departments, and parastatals. Then we have new recurrent, which may be by employment, 7,754,772,851 naira. Consolidated revenue fund charges, 391 million naira. That gives you 81,610,101,930 billion. Overhead costs, 15,155,827,538. This is overhead costs for ministries, departments, and parastatals. Grants, contributions, and subsidies, 6,590 million naira. Total overhead will give you 103,355,929,468 naira. Cost personal grant contributions and subsidies. Counterpart fund pension scheme, 1 billion. Gratuities and death benefits, 12 billion. Monthly pensions, 33,600 million naira. Harmonization, 499,999,999 naira. Subtotal for social contribution and social benefit will be 47,099,999,999 naira. Reimbursement, 1 billion. COT charges and general administration, 400 million. Domestic loans, 2 billion. Foreign loans, 25 million naira. Domestic loans and principal repayment, 11,367,763,030 naira. Foreign loan principal repayment 2021, 2 billion. Fact deductions orders, 24,799,763,030 naira. That gives you total recurrent expenditure of 175,249,692,497 million kobo. The projected sum is adequate for our recurrent expenditure. We'll be able to meet all our administrative obligations on salaries, pensions, and gratuities for civil servants and overheads for the day-to-day operations of the government and MDs. 2023 capital expenditure estimate. We have projected the sum of 350,977,495,507 naira as capital expenditure for the fiscal year 2023. This amount represents about 63.2% of the total budget and conforms to our practice of prioritizing capital expenditures over recurrent. The sectoral composition of the 2023 capital expenditure is as follows. Information and communication, governance, 118 billion. Information and communication technology, 1.3 billion. Public administration, 5.3 billion. Finance and planning, 4 billion. Agriculture, 17 billion. Infrastructure, 114 billion. Commerce and investment, 740 million. Culture and tourism, 865 million. Education, 36 billion. Health, 31 billion. Social development, 12 billion. Environment and sustainable development, 3 billion. Judiciary, 4.6 billion. Total, 350 billion, 977 million, 495,537 kobo. Adequate capital expenditure is the fastest way to achieve the state development goals, and the 2023 capital budget is therefore justifiable. Furthermore, we have had no difficulties implementing our capital expenditures, provided we meet the projected revenue targets. Sectoral summary. Agriculture. The reality of today is that government must begin to give serious attention to the development of agriculture to advance food security, economic growth, industrialization, and job creation. However, the development of agriculture is possible only when we begin to attract our young people into the sector. Accordingly, we will utilize the Youth Agricultural Entrepreneurship Development Program to attract and support interested youths to take farming as a business. We also intend to revisit the ongoing effort to sell off or concession all government-owned agricultural lands to viable private investors for large-scale commercial farming. Furthermore, we are building a modern abattoir and veterinary clinic to safeguard the quality of meat sold to the public and enhance livestock farming in the state. We will also provide targeted incentives to farmers who demonstrate serious interest and commitment to agricultural production. Accordingly, we have provided the sum of 17 billion only in the 2023 capital budget estimates to fund the development of agriculture in the state. Infrastructure. As a developing state, the provision for the foundational infrastructure is critical in our commitment to accelerate economic growth and improve the people's living standard. In 2022, we executed several infrastructure projects, including dual carriageways, exterior and internal roads, and flyovers. Similarly, the provision of transformative infrastructural projects and services is still the critical area of focus for the 2023 fiscal year. Accordingly, the sum award of 14,264,480,208 naira is provided in the 2023 capital budget estimate to fund the completion of all ongoing roads and other fiscal infrastructure projects awarded by our administration. We have also provided the sum of 20 billion under the Ministry of Special Projects to fund infrastructure development in the state. A further sum of 10 billion naira has been provided under special projects for the desilting of canals for the year 2023. Law, order, and justice. The importance of law and justice to any society cannot be overemphasized. No society can develop without law, order, and justice. This is why we will continue to prioritize advancement of law, order, and justice by providing adequate funds to strengthen the institutions that promote, sustain, and fulfill these social precepts in the life circumstances of citizens. As a government, we have done what is required of us to guarantee and strengthen the rule of law and the independence of our judiciary. Over the years, we have intervened in the welfare of judges, including those of the federal courts operating in the state, with provision of lifelong accommodation and new official vehicles. On Friday this week, we commissioned the Justice Mary Orderly Judicial Institute to provide regular training to enhance the capacity of our judges and magistrates to perform their jobs. To further strengthen and sustain the remarkable progress already achieved, we have provided a sum of 4.6 billion to fund the law, order, and justice subsectors for the fiscal year 2023. Out of this sum, the judiciary has allocated 2 billion naira to further strengthen its growth and progress as the third arm of government. Healthcare delivery. From inception, we have made access to qualitative and affordable healthcare one of the priorities of our government. Over the years, we have channeled significant resources to fund healthcare delivery. Undoubtedly, Rivers State now boasts significant numbers of healthcare infrastructure, some of which are comparable to what is available in developed countries. The Rivers State University College of Medical Sciences, the Teaching Hospital, the Mother and Child Hospital, the Doctors and Health Officers Quarters, and the Dr. Peter Oakley Cancer and Cardiovascular Diseases Diagnostic and Treatment Center are some of our signature projects in quality healthcare delivery. However, there's more to do to ensure adequate healthcare service delivery across the state. The effective administration and sustainable maintenance of these infrastructures are also essential. Also, the 5 regional referral hospitals, the Kelsey Harrison Hospital, the Dental Maxillofacial Hospital, and some of the general hospitals in local areas are yet to be completed. We have therefore provided the sum of 29 billion naira to 31 billion naira to fund healthcare provisions, including administration and maintenance services for the fiscal year 2023. We have further provided 4 billion naira under special projects to fund free medical care for nursing mothers and children for the fiscal year 2023. The increased allocation to the health sector reflects the increasing funding requirement for quality healthcare delivery in the state. Education delivery. Over the years, we have been committed to giving every child the transformative education they need in our public schools with significant budgetary allocations. Our efforts in this regard have resulted in the reconstruction and furnishing of several state-owned primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, so much so that we now have some of the best public schools with modern infrastructure in the country. We have continued to implement our free primary and secondary education, including the payment of Wike, NECO, and JAMB fees. The corresponding impact of educational investment is the impressive performance of River State students in public examinations relative to the poor situation we inherited. Furthermore, the 4 new campuses of River State University have provided additional access to tertiary education to our children. We have also awarded a contract for the reconstruction of the following secondary schools: Government Secondary School Emowa, Government Secondary School Edeka, Government Secondary School Oporo, Government Secondary School Alesa Eleme. Although much has been achieved in the rehabilitation of public schools program, we know that many more schools are in a bad state of disrepair. But since resources are limited, we can only take them in phases until all the public schools are back to standard and quality. We therefore appeal to communities to be patient with us, as every public school that deserves attention will eventually be taken care of. However, we have provided over 39 billion naira to fund the delivery of quality education for the fiscal year 2023. We have also provided the sum of 5 billion naira under special projects to introduce and fund a free feeding program for pupils in our primary schools to increase and sustain enrollments and reduce poverty. Youth development and poverty reduction. As the future of our state, we owe our youth the obligation to invest and create opportunities for them to acquire the education and skills they need to pursue and realize their life aspiration. We need to create jobs and support them to grow. We need to continually engage them in creative activities that can empower them to be the leaders of tomorrow in all fields of human endeavor. Youth empowerment is therefore an issue that's always so dear to our hearts. As usual, we have striven in this budget to address some of the primary issues affecting the development of the youth of River State. The provision of allocations in our annual budget to the Ministry of Education, Youth Development, Sports, and Employment Generation underscores the government's commitment to continuously investing in human capital development, job creation, and poverty reduction for the benefit of our youth. The government's massive investment in considerable infrastructure provision create jobs for our youth willing to work. Many youths hold political offices as chairman, vice chairman, councillors, supervisors, members of the House of Assembly, special advisors, commissioners, and special assistants. A fortnight ago, we appointed over 100,000 youths as special assistants to the governor and have added another 100,000 in order to carry the youths along. In 2023, we deploy greater efforts and resources to to advance youth development and empowerment in Rivers State. Accordingly, 10 billion naira has been allocated to the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Employment Generation for Youth Development and Empowerment Program for the fiscal year 2023. We have also provided 10 billion naira under the Ministry of Project for Youth Empowerment and Poverty Reduction activities for 2023. 1,500,000,000 naira have been allocated to Rivers State Microfinance Agency to support youth enterprises. A total of 865 million naira is also allocated to the Ministry of Culture and Tourism to develop tourism and advance the artistic talents of our youth. Women empowerment. We recognize the importance of our women to the economic development of the state and the need to support them to realize their potential. Our goal has always to help our women to break down inherent barriers and achieve their life goals. Consequently, we have continued implementing necessary policy measures to advance women's social, economic, and political empowerment. We have expanded access to equal educational, economic, and political opportunities as the cornerstone of our drive for greater gender equality and women empowerment in Rivers State. In 2023, we have provided 5 billion naira for the Ministry of Women Affairs to fund specific empowerment program for women. The sum of 1.2 billion naira has also been earmarked for the Ministry of Social Welfare and Rehabilitation to advance the economic rights of vulnerable women and children. Citizen security. Mr. Speaker, this is important to reiterate our commitment to protecting lives and property throughout Rivers State. Our duty in this regard is to support the security agencies to keep us safe and secure in homes, businesses, and communities, whose role we have played with a high sense of responsibility and commitment. With much lower crime rates, Rivers State ranks as one of the safest states in the country. But because security is everything, we cannot watch idly by and allow insecurity to prevail again in the state. Therefore, we continue to cooperate and support the security agencies, including the Special Operations Units, with the logistics they need to fight crime and ensure the continuous safety and security of lives and property in Rivers State. To this end, we have allocated 30 billion naira to fund security activities and ensure citizens' sustainable safety and security for the 2023 fiscal year. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, from the beginning, our vision was to revive our economy, rebuild the infrastructure, and advance the progress of our state. We believed that the most intelligent choice before was to use our annual budgets to invest in transformative infrastructural projects to promote economic growth, achieve economic diversification, and improve the well-being of our people. We have made significant strides, achieved unprecedented results in all the priorities of our government, and changed the trajectory of progress for the better. I've been encouraged by the unity of purpose, togetherness, and support from this House over the last 7.5 years. We have been on this journey to revise, rebuild, and restore Rivers State, and the success belongs to all of us. And we should all stand tall and proud to be the architect of the new Rivers vision, even as we give the glory to God Almighty for the privilege and opportunity to serve our people with conviction. Although we are the last lap of our tenure, the resolve to continue to advance our development and secure the future of the state remains solid. Rivers State is a work in progress, and there's always more to be done to achieve the state development aspirations fully. We are therefore poised to use the 2023 budget to deliver more transformative infrastructure and other strategic projects and services and move our dear state closer to the point of self-sustainability. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, as I lay the 2022 budgetary proposal for River State before this Honorable House for your consideration and approval. Thank you once again, and God bless you.
Your Excellency, I humbly urge you to do so. Excellency, let me once again, on behalf of principal officers and members of River State House of Assembly, thank you for all that you are doing for the state. You see, in the legislature, first let me say that my remarks will be very brief but lengthy. Most times when politicians are handed the microphone, politicians will tell you that today is not a speech-making day. For me, today is a speech-making day. Reason being simple, this road I will not travel a second time. And if I do not say the things I will say today, there might not be opportunity to say them again. Having followed you for these 7.5 years, the River State House of Assembly, having worked in collaboration with your government, it is not enough that you be the only one saying the things you have done, telling the world the things you have achieved. Therefore, today is a speech-making day, even though the speech will be brief but lengthy. Thank you. I have listened to your speech. Members have listened to your speech. As a legislature, we have what we call legislative marking scheme. You know, when you set an exam, you must have a marking scheme to mark the questions as answered by the students. So we have our legislative marking scheme. And all that we have seen, all that we have witnessed, when we return to the chamber and we take them one after the other, we found out that you and your government, you have passed excellently well. This we know. That is why I will not engage in tedious repetition, because it is not part of our standing order. Yeah. You have said everything. You have listed the achievements of this government, which we know they are all correct. The achievements are correct. They are not falsified. So we thank you for the roadmap. You have actually established a roadmap for the development and progress of the state and its people. We want to commend you. Let me say this, as a student of non-violence, it is better for rulers to look foolish and make the people have peace, development, collaboration, than to be wise and throw the same people into war, into battle, into pain, into sorrow. And this is the approach River State House of Assembly has adopted to collaborate with the executive arm of government for our people to experience peace, for our people to experience development, for our people to reap bountifully from the leadership that you are providing for the people. Let me also say this, that the development of today is not insulated from the development of tomorrow under your watch. The infrastructure that you are developing, the infrastructure you are putting in place, they have relationship with the development of the future. And that is the meaning of development. If what is on ground today does not have relationship with the future, it means the future has been sold out. But you are laying a foundation that will take Rivers State beyond this point. Let me come to the title of the estimate, which is the Appropriation Bill, since you have laid it before us. You could name it Budget of Consolidation and Continuation. Before now, that has been lacking, these two concepts, in terms of our development, our focus, our drive to achieve purposeful and meaningful development and make our people prosper. But this you have done. When you consolidate on the gains, and then the other leg, the second leg to it is continuation. If it is not continued, it means everything will go down the drain in no time. So you can see that the code name for this appropriation bill that is before us is quite precise, very important. You know, the ideology is one thing that can drive people to achieve. It's also dangerous if not put in proper and positive perspective. It can also make people take a negative dive. What you have just done with the new Rivers Vision as a concept and an ideology, you have actually placed the people with a mindset and a focus that can make them achieve even when you are not the governor of Rivers State. So for us in Assembly, we are quite happy with the foundation you have laid for this state. The infrastructure, I don't need to name them. We are part and parcel of what is happening. You are one governor that has made the Assembly, even though we are another arm of government, you have made us participate for the first time in governance in this manner, so that Assembly members know what you are doing. That is why our marking scheme is positive in terms of your effort. I quite commend you. Your budget from day one has a basic common characteristic. Capital expenditure always greater than recurrent expenditure. And that is the way we should go, even beyond you. Because when capital budget is less than recurrent, it means all will be consumed by the people and nothing will be seen. That is a basic feature and characteristic of your budgeting system. I quite commend you. That is why we are achieving. Let me tell you, a friend of mine visited. He came from Owerri. And he was not able to distinguish between Rumokoro overhead, the interchange at Rumokoro, and that of Waterlines. When he was telling me, I knew that he came through Rumokoro, but driving through Waterlines, he identified that he has passed through and not knowing that it was another bridge. That is what you have done for the people. I want to commend you because you have done very well for this state. You have done very well for this state. The budget for 2023, the recurrent budget is 175,249,692,497 naira as recurrent budget or estimate. Our capital budget or estimate is 350,977,495,537 naira. It also shows the same thing I have said earlier on, that you have the zeal to ensure that your state makes progress, that even after you, anyone that is coming will be able to have a platform to establish further administration. That example is very clear. You have been applauded by the whole Nigerians and even beyond. We pray that you keep it up even in the next 6.5 months that you will be in the driving seat. It is very important. You have done well. We are not here today to praise, but we are stating the facts, because these things are there for people to see. If they are not there, the day you were awarded that honor, if you were not given that honor, the world would have questioned. It was because you fitted into that mode. And for us here, the dedication for us to continue to serve our people, given the mandate, is also heightened and elevated by that award. Because when you receive on behalf of the people, you give back to the people. And that is exactly what we are doing. For the first time, a governor that is serving his last tenure, second term, is a governor that is still commissioning project to May 29th. If not for the law, at times the law cannot be charitable. You'll have even commissioned beyond May 2029. So that we know, because there are projects, but this one now you are just trying to put them together so that you will not exceed. Otherwise, what you have done in this state, I'm not saying because I'm speaker. This is my 16th year in Rivers State House of Assembly. So I'm speaking from the benefit of hindsight, because I know it is not a matter of trying to, maybe you do some simulation or you want to do permutations. No, because I have been a follower. I have been one who has been partaking in the business of governance over this period in Rivers State. So I know that you are good enough to be a leader. You will be on the right side of history. There is no way history will forget you. Yes, people might forget, but it is difficult for history to forget that Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, as 8 years governor of Rivers State, you led a roadmap for the people. It is this development that you have initiated today that will actually take us to where we are. At some point, if we follow this path, we will only be moving on an autopilot system, where those things are just there, they are identified, and they are falling in place. That's exactly what this state will experience. Once again, on behalf of principal officers and members of Rivers State House of Assembly, let me thank you. But to conclude very well and strongly, that if I don't mention it, you have mentioned, I'll mention this. You have always exceeded my expectation. Look at what you have done for Rivers State House of Assembly. The official residence of members of Rivers State House of Assembly is second to none. When I took you there, when I conferred with you, my original intention was for you maybe to just a little renovation to make the place comfortable for members. But look at what you did. You exceeded my expectation. Thank you. Again, if you look at the official residence of the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, you also exceeded my expectation. I want to, on behalf of the House, thank you. There are several other things you have done in terms of projects that are touching on members of the various state constituencies. So I want to thank you because you have done well. For me, you have done the things that, as Speaker, there is no way it will be referenced, and I will not be part of it. There is no way principal officers that you have also executed projects in their various constituencies, the Deputy Speaker, others. Even the constituencies in the west, constituencies in the east, constituencies in the southeast. You have covered all these senatorial districts. So I want to thank you. Thank you so much. And may God continually bless you, guide your footsteps, so that even as you continue beyond where you are, His glory will continue to lead you. He is the owner of the world, but His blessings will continue to return to you and all of us. Thank you, and may God bless us all.